My beloved, breathe. Slow down the racing thoughts that have been chasing each other through your mind like wild horses across an endless plain. The chaos you have been navigating is about to give way to a calm you have not experienced in years. What I am about to speak over your life carries the weight of eternal decree. These are not suggestions hoping to be considered. These are declarations from the throne room of heaven that will reshape every corner of your existence. I have already made my decision about you. Before you opened this message, before you woke this morning, before you were conceived in your mother's womb, I determined to bless you. This determination was not based on future performance you might deliver or worthiness you might demonstrate. It was based entirely on my sovereign choice to pour favor upon your life like water from an endless spring. You cannot earn what has already been given. You cannot work for what has already been decided. My blessing over you is as certain as the sunrise that has never failed to appear. The anxiety that has been squeezing your chest like a vice needs to release its grip right now. You have been carrying tension in your shoulders that does not belong there. You have been clenching your jaw while you sleep, grinding through problems that I have already solved in dimensions you cannot perceive. The weight you feel was never designed for your frame. I am strong enough to handle what has been crushing you beneath its relentless pressure. Transfer the burden to these shoulders that hold galaxies in place. Let go of the ropes that have rubbed your hands raw. I will carry what you cannot, and I will carry it effortlessly. Your prayers have been reaching me like incense rising through the clouds. Every whispered petition in the darkness when everyone else was sleeping. Every desperate cry in the car when tears blurred the road ahead. Every silent plea during meetings when no one knew your heart was shattering into pieces has been heard and recorded in books that will never be erased. Heaven has been mobilizing armies on your behalf, even when earth showed no evidence of movement. The answer that seemed delayed was actually being prepared with precision that required time you could not perceive as productive. Something shifted in the spiritual realm the exact moment you decided to engage with these words. Chains that have been wrapped around certain areas of your life for years, perhaps decades, are losing their tension link by link. Locks that have held doors firmly closed are clicking open with sounds that echo through eternity. Barriers that seemed as permanent as mountains are developing fractures that will soon become passages wide enough for you to walk through, carrying everything you have been waiting to possess. You are not imagining the lightness beginning to settle into your spirit like morning mist descending on a meadow. It is real. It is supernatural. It is the beginning of everything I promised when you were too young to understand, and everything I have been preparing while you were too busy to notice. The shift is happening. The change has begun. The breakthrough is not approaching. It has arrived. Let me speak directly to the fears that have been whispering their familiar lies when the lights go out and distractions fade, and you are left alone with nothing but your thoughts and your anxieties. The fear that tells you nothing ever works out for people like you is a liar with an agenda of destruction. The fear that suggests you have used up all your chances and none remain is trafficking in false information designed to paralyze you before you reach your destiny. The fear that insists everyone eventually abandons you, and this time will be no different, is projecting a pattern I am actively interrupting with power you will soon witness firsthand. I am rewriting the story that fear has been narrating over your life in chapters of hopelessness and paragraphs of defeat. The chapters ahead will contradict the chapters behind so dramatically that readers of your testimony will struggle to believe it describes the same person. The version of you that emerges from this season of transformation will look back at the version entering it and marvel at the metamorphosis that only I can orchestrate. You are not destined to repeat your history. You are destined to overcome it so completely that it becomes unrecognizable. The people who have hurt you carry their own wounds that you cannot see beneath the surface of their cruelty. Hurt people in cycles of pain that perpetuate across generations until someone breaks the chain. This does not excuse their behavior or minimize your suffering, but it explains the mechanics behind actions that seem to target you personally. When you understand that their cruelty was a symptom of their own unhealed brokenness, rather than an accurate assessment of your worth, forgiveness becomes possible even if it remains difficult. Forgiveness does not require reconciliation. It does not demand continued relationship. It does not mean pretending the offense never occurred or trusting those who proved themselves untrustworthy. Forgiveness simply releases you from the prison of perpetual replay, where the offense keeps happening in your memory, long after it stopped happening in reality. Every time you rehearse the hurt, you give it power. Every time you release it, you reclaim territory the enemy has occupied. Some relationships that have ended needed to end. Not every departure from your life is a tragedy requiring mourning and analysis. Some are rescues dressed in the costume of loss. Some people who left made room for people who were waiting in the wings for their entrance. The space they vacated was necessary for what I am positioning to occupy it. Stop grieving exits that were actually escapes from situations that would have damaged you further had they continued. But other relationships are being restored even now by hands you cannot see working in hearts you cannot access. People who hardened against you are softening under pressure I am applying without their awareness. Mouths that spoke curses are being redirected by conviction they cannot explain to speak blessings they once would have withheld. Eyes that viewed you with contempt are being opened by my spirit to see your actual value that their prejudice prevented them from perceiving. I am working in the invisible realm to produce visible results in your relational world. Watch for the evidence. It is coming faster than you expect. Your family occupies a special category of my attention that receives priority treatment in my throne room. The dysfunction that has cycled through generations like a disease passing from parent to child is hitting a wall in your lifetime that it cannot breach. Patterns of poverty, addiction, abuse, and failure that have repeated themselves with mechanical precision, like a skipping record caught in the same groove, are being interrupted at the exact point where your life plays. What continues beyond you will look nothing like what was passed to you. You are the pattern breaker chosen for this moment. You are the cycle ender appointed for this generation. You are the one through whom everything changes for everyone who comes after. The children connected to your life, whether by blood or spiritual assignment, are under protection you cannot fully comprehend because it operates in dimensions beyond your perception. Angels have received specific instructions regarding their safety and development that they take more seriously than you take your own responsibilities. The enemy who targets them precisely because he recognizes their potential will not succeed in his mission to derail them before they mature into who they are designed to become. Your prayers over them have accumulated into reservoirs of power that will be released at critical moments throughout their journeys when they need intervention they cannot request. Financial pressure that has been crushing your peace like grapes in a wine press is about to experience dramatic intervention from sources you are not currently watching. Resources are being positioned to flow toward you from directions you never expected to look. Opportunities for income are being crafted by invisible hands working on your behalf with skill that surpasses any human capability. Doors of provision that have been sealed shut for so long you stopped knocking are receiving commands to swing wide on hinges that have rusted closed. The scarcity you have normalized is about to be replaced by abundance you will struggle to believe you deserve. But let me reshape your understanding of money before it arrives in quantities that would corrupt an unprepared heart. Wealth is a tool, not a trophy. It is meant to flow through you like a river through a valley, not pool around you like stagnant water in a swamp. The purpose of prosperity is not accumulation for its own sake, but distribution for kingdom impact. When blessing arrives, remember those who are still waiting for theirs. Generosity must accompany abundance, or abundance will eventually depart seeking a more faithful steward. Open hands receive more than closed fists that grip so tightly nothing can enter or exit. Your body has been carrying stress that has manifested as symptoms and conditions and chronic complaints that doctors cannot fully explain because they originate in spiritual dimensions their instruments cannot measure. Cells that have been malfunctioning under the weight of worry are receiving new instructions from headquarters. Systems that have been operating outside their original design parameters are being recalibrated to factory settings. Pain that has become your constant companion is being served eviction papers signed by authority higher than any physician. Health that seemed permanently diminished is being restored with compound interest. Speak to your body with the authority I have given you. It is listening even when it seems to ignore your commands. Your words carry creative power that affects physical reality when spoken in faith and alignment with my will. Declare health over every system. Proclaim strength over every muscle. Announce wholeness over every organ. Your body was designed to respond to the voice of its owner, and you are its owner because I gave it to you as stewardship. Take authority over what belongs to you. The mental and emotional battles you fight are not being overlooked while physical healing advances on parallel tracks. The mind that has been tormented by anxiety spinning scenarios of catastrophe is being stabilized by peace that settles like snow on troubled ground. The emotions that have swung between extremes without warning are being calibrated to respond proportionally to actual circumstances rather than imagined threats. The thoughts that spiral downward at the slightest trigger are being redirected upward toward light and hope and possibility. Complete wellness includes every dimension of your being, and complete wellness is what I am providing with comprehensive coverage. I know you have been questioning whether I hear you when you pray. The silence that sometimes stretches between your requests and visible answers has made you wonder if the ceiling blocks your words, or if I simply choose not to respond. Let me dismantle this doubt with absolute clarity that leaves no room for uncertainty. Every prayer you have prayed has been heard and recorded. Every word has been registered in systems that never crash. Every tear has been collected in containers that never overflow. The delay you experience is not evidence of absence, but orchestration of timing too complex for you to calculate. I am not slow. I am precise. Prayer is not performance art requiring perfect words or proper posture or prolonged duration. Prayer is simply talking to me, and I am simpler to reach than religious tradition has suggested. Close your eyes anywhere. Open your mouth, however. Speak what is in your heart, using whatever language comes naturally. Grammar does not impress me. Vocabulary does not move me. Eloquence does not accelerate my response. Sincerity is the only currency that purchases my attention, and you have plenty of that stored in the bank of your desperate need. Come to me in the morning before the world drowns out my whisper with its shouting demands and urgent notifications. Come to me at night when the noise has faded and your thoughts can settle into stillness like sediment in still water. Come to me in the afternoon when stress peaks and patience thins, and you feel yourself approaching the edge of what you can handle. Come to me whenever and wherever and however you can manage. I am not hiding. I am not busy with more important matters. I am waiting with attention already fixed on you before you turn your attention to me. The time you spend in my presence is never wasted, even when it seems unproductive by metrics you would use to evaluate other activities. Something happens in the invisible realm when you prioritize connection with me over more seemingly urgent demands. Strength transfers from my unlimited supply to your depleted reserves. Peace settles into anxious places that nothing else can reach. Wisdom deposits into confusion that no amount of analysis can clear. Direction clarifies for paths that no map can chart. Even when you feel nothing during our time together, something is happening beneath the threshold of feeling. Do not evaluate the effectiveness of our encounter based on emotional experience alone. Some of my deepest work occurs in layers you will not access for years. My word is the weapon you have been underutilizing while wondering why battles continue that should have ended. Scripture is not merely ancient text preserved for academic study. It is living, active, sharper than any blade ever forged, capable of separating things that seem permanently fused and penetrating to places no other instrument can reach. When you speak my word over your circumstances, you are not engaging in religious ritual. You are releasing creative power that rearranges reality to match what I have declared. Your mouth becomes the delivery system for bombs that demolish strongholds and missiles that strike targets you cannot see. Fill your mind with my promises until they overflow from your mouth without conscious effort. Saturate your thinking with truth until lies cannot find space to land. When the enemy whispers accusations in your ear, counter them with declarations from my word that carry more authority than his entire arsenal. When circumstances suggest outcomes that contradict my promises, stand firm on what I have spoken rather than bowing to what appears to be happening in the temporary realm of natural observation. I am raising you up to be a source of strength for others who are still struggling where you have been delivered. Your testimony is not for private collection like trophies in a case that nobody visits. It is for public distribution like medicine to the sick and water to the thirsty. The things I have brought you through qualify you to minister to those currently in similar battles. Your scars become credentials that no degree can grant. Your survival becomes sermon that no preacher can preach. What nearly destroyed you becomes the platform from which you speak life to others facing destruction. But you cannot give what you do not have. Before you can pour out, you must be filled up. Before you can strengthen others, you must be strengthened yourself by sources that never run dry. This is why I insist you spend time receiving before you spend energy giving. The well must be refilled, or it will run dry no matter how deep it once was. The battery must be recharged, or it will die no matter how new it once was. Come and be filled so you can go and pour out without exhaustion. The purpose that has been stirring within you since before you could name it is about to enter activation phase. That restlessness you have felt, that sense that you were made for something more than your current experience, that conviction that there must be a reason you are still here when others have departed, was not random dissatisfaction to be medicated away. It was accurate perception of destiny not yet realized calling you forward. You were created for specific assignments. You carry unique combinations of gifting, experience, and perspective that equip you for particular kingdom work that nobody else can accomplish exactly like you. I am clearing the path and providing the resources and opening the doors necessary for you to step into what you were designed to do. The platform I am building for you will extend your influence beyond anything you have imagined in your most ambitious moments. Your voice will reach ears you will never see attached to faces you will never meet. Your story will impact lives in geographical locations you will never visit. The ripple effects of your obedience will continue expanding long after your time on earth concludes and you join me in eternity. The enemy knows what you are becoming, which is why he has fought so hard to stop you before you get there. Every attack you have survived was an attempt to derail destiny. Every discouragement you have overcome was designed to make you quit before breakthrough. Every lie you have rejected was crafted to convince you that your best days are behind you rather than ahead where they actually wait. But you are still here. You are still believing. You are still fighting. And that persistence has positioned you for promotion the enemy desperately wanted to prevent. Mountains that have blocked your path are receiving relocation orders today that they cannot refuse. Obstacles that have stood unmoved despite your best efforts are being dismantled by hands you cannot see wielding tools you cannot imagine. Barriers that have prevented access to what belongs to you are crumbling like walls that suddenly discover they are built on sand. The landscape of your life is being restructured to accommodate what I am bringing. Yesterday's view will not match tomorrow's reality. Favor is being released upon you that will be undeniable to everyone who observes your life with attention. People will want to know what changed. They will struggle to explain your sudden advancement using natural categories. This confusion is intentional. I want your blessing to be so obviously supernatural that the only logical explanation points directly to me. Your testimony will be powerful precisely because your breakthrough defies human understanding. Some who currently overlook you will soon be seeking your attention with urgency they cannot explain. Those who dismissed your potential will be reconsidering their evaluation with embarrassment they cannot hide. Those who counted you out will be revising their calculations with regret they cannot suppress. The tables are turning. The script is being rewritten. The underdog is about to emerge as the unlikely hero everyone should have recognized earlier. Do not let the opinions of critics determine your trajectory. Those who mock what they do not understand will eventually stand silent when evidence of my blessing becomes undeniable. Your life itself will preach louder than any argument you could construct. Results will speak while you remain focused on progress rather than persuasion. Let the transformation testify. You do not need to defend what I am doing. Resist the temptation to take revenge on those who have wronged you. Vengeance belongs to me, and I am far more creative in justice than you could ever be with your limited perspective. Your assignment is forgiveness and forward motion, not retaliation and backward focus. When you release offenders to my handling, you free yourself to embrace your future unencumbered by the heavy chains of resentment. The tears you have cried are not wasted drops of suffering that evaporate without purpose. I have collected every drop and recorded every reason in books that will be opened when accounts are settled. Those tears are being transformed into something you cannot yet see. Grief is being converted to garden. Sorrow is becoming seed. What fell to the ground in pain will rise from the ground in harvest. Watch the places you watered with weeping become the places you reap with rejoicing. When you do not know what to do nothing except wait. Stillness is not surrender, it is strategy. Many battles are lost by premature action when patient waiting would have revealed solutions unavailable to the anxious. When you do not know which way to turn to me. When you do not know what to say nothing until I speak first. Hasty decisions made under pressure often create more problems than the original crisis presented. I am teaching you to trust my timing even when it contradicts your urgency. What seems late to you is precisely on schedule from my perspective that sees beginning and end simultaneously. I see what you cannot see. I know what you cannot know. I understand how current circumstances connect to future possibilities in ways that would reframe your entire understanding of visible. Trust my vision when yours cannot penetrate the fog. The waiting has not been wasted. Every day of apparent delay has served purposes you will only understand in hindsight. Character has developed that could not have formed faster. Faith has stretched beyond previous limits. Patience has deepened roots that now reach bedrock. You are not the same person who started praying for this breakthrough. You have grown, matured, and expanded in ways that have prepared you to receive and sustain what is coming without being destroyed by it. But now the waiting is ending. The breakthrough is arriving. What you have prayed for is materializing. What you have believed for is manifesting. Not because you finally earned it, or worked hard enough, or prayed with sufficient eloquence. Because my timing has arrived. This is the appointed moment. This is the destined hour. This is when heaven releases what earth has been waiting to receive. The night is ending. The morning is breaking. The first rays of new day are piercing the darkness that has seemed permanent. You have survived the night. Now you will thrive in the day. The transition is not approaching, it has arrived. Everything changes from this moment forward. Stand up, square your shoulders, lift your head. The posture of defeat no longer fits a child of the Most High. The body language of victimhood no longer applies to one who carries the spirit that raised Christ from the dead. You are dressed in the armor of heaven, backed by the resources of eternity, surrounded by angels assigned to your protection, and indwelt by power that created galaxies. Nothing that opposes you can withstand what supports you. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Every tongue that rises against you in judgment will be proven wrong. Walk forward with confidence that was lacking yesterday. Move through this day knowing that the Creator of all that exists is invested in your ordinary moments. No challenge you face exceeds my capacity to solve. No enemy you encounter surpasses my power to defeat. No obstacle in your path remains beyond my ability to remove. There is literally nothing you cannot overcome with me fighting for you and through you and beside you. My blessing over you is certain. It is not conditional on your perfection. It is not dependent on your performance. It is not limited by your past. It is not restricted by your circumstances. My blessing is as certain as my character, and my character never changes. What I have declared will come to pass. What I have promised will be fulfilled. What I have decreed will manifest. So calm down, breathe deeply, release the tension, unclench your jaw, lower your shoulders. Stop striving in your own strength for what I have already provided through mine. Stop worrying about what I have already handled. Stop carrying what I have already lifted. Stop fighting battles I've already won. Believe. Simply believe. Not with complicated faith that requires theological precision. Not with perfect faith that never wavers. Just with honest faith that admits weakness while choosing trust anyway. Believe that I am who I say I am. Believe that I can do what I say I can do. Believe that I love you as much as I have declared. Belief is your response. Blessing is my responsibility. The story that has defined you until now is being closed and shelved. A new story is being written that will contradict its predecessor so dramatically that readers will struggle to believe both describe the same person. The character of struggle is exiting the narrative. The character of victory is taking the stage. The plot is shifting from survival to thriving. Write down what you are receiving today. Date it. Store it where you can access it when doubt returns with its familiar whispers. These words are not entertainment to be consumed and forgotten. They are equipment to be stored and deployed. When the enemy attacks with fresh accusations, counter with the promises deposited here. When circumstances seem to contradict what you have believed, stand firm on what has been declared. Share this message with someone who needs it as desperately as you did. The blessing that entered your life today was never meant to terminate with you. It was designed to flow through you toward others struggling in similar darkness. When you share what you receive, you multiply its impact while deepening its grip on your soul. Hoarded blessing stagnates. Shared blessing multiplies. I love you with intensity that human vocabulary cannot adequately capture. My affection for you is not earned through performance or lost through failure. It simply is. It always has been. It always will be. Before you loved me, I loved you. While you were running away, I was pursuing you. When you doubted my existence, I was watching over you. My love is the most reliable constant in your entire existence. Nothing can separate you from this love. Not circumstances, not enemies, not failures, not fears, not past, not future, not height, not depth. Not anything in all creation can create distance between us that I have not already bridged. You are permanently, eternally, unconditionally loved by the one who spoke stars into existence and calls you by name. The morning is here. The day has dawned. The season has shifted. Everything changes now. Rise up and receive what has been prepared for you. Walk forward into what has been arranged for your arrival. Embrace what is rushing toward you with unstoppable momentum. But I am not finished speaking to you. There is more that your spirit needs to receive before you step into everything I have prepared. Let me go deeper into the promises that are being activated over your life in this exact moment. The supernatural world operates according to laws as precise as the laws governing natural reality. When certain spiritual conditions align, certain outcomes become inevitable. The conditions necessary for your breakthrough have been aligning for longer than you realize. Puzzle pieces you could not see were being moved into position while you slept, while you worried, while you wondered if anything was happening at all. Consider how a farmer plants seeds and waits for harvest. The ground shows no evidence of activity for extended periods. Anyone observing the field might conclude that nothing is happening beneath the surface. But in darkness invisible to human observation, roots are stretching, nutrients are being absorbed, cellular structures are multiplying, and life is preparing to burst through the soil with unstoppable force. This is exactly what has been occurring in your situation. Appearances have suggested stagnation, but reality has been pregnant with progress. Let me address the specific lies that have been whispered into your consciousness during your most vulnerable moments when defenses were down. The voice that suggested you are too broken to be used by me was speaking propaganda designed to sideline you permanently. Your brokenness actually qualifies you for my service, because broken vessels understand the value of being made whole. The voice that claimed your past disqualifies you from your future was spreading misinformation from enemy headquarters. Your past provides testimony material that will minister healing to others walking paths similar to the ones you have survived. The voice that insisted your prayers bounce off ceilings and accomplish nothing was deliberately attempting to silence your most powerful weapon. Every word you have spoken in faith has been recorded in archives that span dimensions you cannot access with natural senses. Not one syllable has been lost or ignored. Those prayers have accumulated into a reservoir of divine power that is now reaching critical mass. When it releases, the impact will reshape everything it touches. The voice that whispered nobody truly cares about you was injecting poison designed to isolate you from community and support systems that would strengthen you. I have people who genuinely love you, even if their expressions of that love have been imperfect. because they themselves are imperfect humans learning to love as I love. I am also bringing new people into your life whose affection will be unmistakable and consistent. You are not as alone as the enemy has worked so hard to convince you. The voice that suggested your situation is unique in its hopelessness was lying to magnify your despair beyond what reality warranted. Others have faced exactly what you face and emerged victorious through my intervention. History is filled with testimonies from people who stood exactly where you stand and witnessed impossible transformation. Your situation is not outside the boundaries of my capability. Nothing is. Let me speak more directly about the provision I am releasing into your life. Not just financial provision, though that is certainly included, but provision across every dimension of need you carry. I am providing wisdom for decisions you must make that have kept you paralyzed between options. I am providing peace for anxious thoughts that torment you in quiet moments. I am providing strength for battles you cannot fight alone with resources you currently possess. I am providing relationships for the loneliness you feel when surrounded by people who do not truly know you. I am providing direction for the confusion that clouds your path forward. I am providing healing for the sickness in your body that has limited your capacity to pursue purpose. Ideas are beginning to stir within your mind that were not there yesterday. Opportunities are beginning to appear on your horizon that you did not see before reading these words. Connections are being arranged that will lead to income sources you have never previously considered. Some of these pathways will surprise you with their simplicity. Others will challenge you to develop new capabilities. All of them will require faith to pursue because the evidence will not be visible when you must take the first steps. I am dismantling the scarcity mindset that has limited your expectations and attracted lack to your experience, like a magnet attracting metal. The way you think about resources has been shaped by experiences and teachings that were themselves rooted in poverty consciousness. These mental patterns have functioned like invisible fences, keeping you contained within artificial boundaries while abundance waited just beyond your self-imposed limits. Today, those fences are being demolished by power greater than whatever constructed them. Your thinking is being renovated to accommodate abundance. Let me speak about the authority you carry that remains largely untapped. Authority has been delegated to you that you have not yet learned to wield with confidence. You have been operating with weapons you did not know you possessed. Like a soldier carrying an arsenal of sophisticated armaments, but using only a single basic tool because no one explained the rest. You have been fighting with a fraction of your available resources. I am training you in the use of spiritual weapons that will transform your effectiveness in every battle you face. Your words carry more power than you have realized. When you speak aligned with my word and my will, your declarations carry creative and destructive capacity that affects reality. You can command things to manifest and things to depart. You can release blessing and bind curse. Your tongue is a weapon of kingdom warfare that remains mostly sheathed. Your prayers carry more authority than you have understood. When you pray according to my will, heaven mobilizes in response. Angels are dispatched to assignments. Demons are displaced from positions. Circumstances are rearranged to accommodate answers. Resources are released from holds. Decisions are influenced in directions that serve your blessing. Prayers that have felt like powerless whispers into empty space have actually been strategic commands that shifted spiritual realities in ways you will only comprehend when you arrive in my presence and the records are opened. Your worship carries more influence than you have imagined possible. When you lift your voice in praise despite circumstances that seem to contradict the worth of praising, you are engaging in warfare that confuses and defeats the enemy on levels he cannot counter. Worship is not just expression of emotion. It is declaration of sovereignty. It announces that regardless of what appears to be true in the natural realm, I remain God and I remain good. This declaration in the face of contradicting evidence carries power that nothing else can match. Start exercising this authority deliberately. Stop speaking casually about your life as if words do not matter when they are among the most powerful forces in creation. Stop praying apologetically as if heaven might not listen when every prayer reaches my throne without exception. Stop worshiping half-heartedly as if it is merely ritual when it is actually the most powerful weapon in your arsenal. Engage fully. Speak intentionally. Pray boldly. Worship passionately. The power available to you will shock you when you actually decide to access it. Let me speak about the divine appointments scheduled for your immediate future that have been arranged with precision you cannot comprehend. Some of these encounters will be obvious from the moment they begin. You will recognize immediately that something significant is happening and someone important has crossed your path. But others will be disguised as ordinary moments that only reveal their importance in retrospect. Pay attention to who crosses your path in coming days. Some of these individuals carry keys to doors you have been unable to open despite persistent knocking. Others carry messages that will redirect your entire trajectory toward destinations you would never have found on your own. Still others are people you are meant to bless, individuals strategically positioned to receive what you carry. Not every encounter is about what you can receive. Some are about what you are meant to give. Learn to recognize my orchestration behind apparent coincidence. When you repeatedly encounter the same person in different contexts, pay attention. When conversations unexpectedly turn to topics directly relevant to your situation, take note. When opportunities appear that align precisely with prayers you have prayed, do not dismiss them as luck or random chance. I am arranging your life with intentionality that requires awareness to recognize. Some of these divine appointments will feel uncomfortable initially. Growth rarely comes through encounters that require nothing from us. The people and situations I am positioning in your path will stretch you, challenge you, and expose areas that need development. Welcome the discomfort. It is evidence of expansion rather than threat. Let me speak about the transition you are navigating right now that feels disorienting because you are between two realities. Transitions are inherently uncomfortable. They involve releasing what is familiar before what is new has fully materialized. There is a gap between the old and the new where nothing feels stable. You are in that gap right now, and the instability you feel is normal rather than problematic. Do not cling to what I am removing simply because it is familiar. Familiarity is not the same as fitness. Some things in your life have stayed past their season not because they belong, but because you have resisted their departure with grip that refuses to release. I am asking you to open your hands and release what I am pulling away. Trust that what replaces it will be superior to what departs. Similarly, do not resist what is approaching simply because it is unfamiliar. New things require adjustment periods. They feel awkward before they feel natural. The shoes that will carry you into your next season might feel strange initially. Give them time to conform to your feet before concluding they do not fit. New always feels uncomfortable before it feels normal. The completion of this transition is closer than you might expect based on how long you have been waiting. What has felt like endless in between is actually nearing its conclusion. Soon, you will look back and recognize the transition for what it was. A bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. The discomfort of the bridge will fade from memory once you are standing on the solid ground of your new season. Let me speak about the supernatural encounters that are coming for you. You will experience me in ways that mark you forever. Encounters that leave no doubt about my reality, my love, my power. I am drawing near to you in tangible ways that will affect you physically. Some of you will dream dreams tonight that are not ordinary dreams. They are divine communication. They carry messages for you and sometimes for others. Pay attention to your dreams. Write them down when you wake. Ask me for interpretation. I speak through dreams, and I am speaking to you. Some of you will sense my presence so strongly in your prayer time that you are undone. You will weep without understanding why. You will feel warmth or weight or electricity. You will know beyond doubt that I am real and I am there with you. These encounters are not emotional manipulation. They are genuine meetings between your spirit and mine. Some of you will receive words of knowledge, sudden knowing about things you could not have known naturally. This is my spirit revealing information you need. Trust these impressions when they come. They are gifts for serving others and navigating your own path. Some of you will experience physical healing as you receive these words. Pain will leave. Symptoms will vanish. Diseases will reverse. This is not suggestion or placebo. This is my healing power flowing through my word to touch your body. Receive it by faith. Speak healing over yourself. Believe that by my stripes, you were healed. Now let me speak about the generational patterns that have been broken through your decision to receive this word today. Family histories often contain repetitive cycles of dysfunction that appear to be genetic but are actually spiritual. Poverty passes from parent to child not through DNA, but through mindsets and demonic assignments. Addiction transfers across generations not biologically but through open doors that remain unaddressed. Abuse perpetuates not by nature but by spiritual strongholds that survive from one generation to the next. These generational patterns have been fighting to continue through your bloodline. They have assumed that what always was must always be. But your decision to receive my word today has disrupted their continuity with force they cannot withstand. The chain that has linked generation to generation is breaking at the link that represents your life. What continues beyond you will be radically different from what was passed to you. Your children and grandchildren will not inherit the dysfunction that plagued your ancestors. They will not struggle with the same specific demons that tormented your parents and grandparents. They will not repeat the cycles that seemed inevitable when viewed through natural eyes. You are the pivot generation. The turnaround happens through you. Everything changes because you chose to believe. This responsibility is weighty, but not crushing. I am not placing on your shoulders more than you can carry. The grace I provide is precisely calibrated to the assignment I give. You will find yourself supernaturally equipped to be the generational pattern breaker. Strength will be available that you did not have yesterday. Wisdom will be accessible that you have not previously possessed. You are being upgraded to handle upgraded responsibility. Let me speak about the protection that surrounds you even now as you read these words. Angels have been assigned to your household with specific instructions to guard your coming and going. They have intervened in situations you will never know about this side of eternity. Car accidents that should have happened were prevented. Diseases that should have manifested were blocked. Enemies that should have succeeded were thwarted. You have attributed survival to luck or coincidence, but luck does not explain the precision with which danger has been redirected around you. This protection is not being withdrawn as you enter your new season. If anything, it is being intensified. The enemy recognizes that breakthrough seasons attract increased opposition. He will attempt to steal, kill, and destroy with renewed aggression because he fears what you are becoming. But my protection will rise to meet every level of threat. The walls around you will grow thicker as attacks grow stronger. Your physical safety is only one dimension of this protection. I am also guarding your mind from thoughts designed to derail you. I am shielding your emotions from attacks meant to destabilize you. I am defending your relationships from schemes intended to divide you from those you love. I am protecting your purpose from distractions designed to divert you from assignment. Comprehensive protection is being provided across every dimension of your existence. Let me speak a final blessing over every dimension of your life before you step into everything I have prepared. I bless your mind with clarity that cuts through confusion. I bless your emotions with stability that weathers every storm. I bless your body with health that radiates vitality. I bless your relationships with depth that satisfies your soul. I bless your finances with abundance that exceeds your needs. I bless your purpose with fulfillment that brings meaning to your days. I bless your future with promise that makes tomorrow worth anticipating. I bless your family with peace that transforms your home into a sanctuary. I bless your coming and your going. I bless your waking and your sleeping. I bless your work and your rest. I bless your laughter and your tears. I bless every ordinary moment with extraordinary presence. I bless every challenge with sufficient grace. I bless every victory with appropriate humility. I bless every failure with redemptive purpose. These blessings are not wishes. They are declarations. They are not possibilities. They are certainties. They are not dependent on your performance. They are dependent on my character. Receive them. Expect them. Thank me for them before they fully manifest. Your gratitude accelerates their arrival. This is your confirmation. This is your commissioning. This is your beginning. The past has been dealt with. The present has been addressed. The future has been secured. Nothing remains except walking forward into what has been prepared for you since before time began its count. Rise and walk. Stand and move. Believe and advance. The sign you needed has been delivered. The message you required has been received. The breakthrough you desired has been initiated. What follows is the natural unfolding of supernatural intervention. Watch it happen. Participate in its manifestation. Enjoy its arrival. Heaven celebrates what is occurring in your life right now. Angels observe with anticipation what you will do with what has been given. The cloud of witnesses that has gone before cheers for what is unfolding. You are not fighting alone. You are not believing in isolation. You are surrounded by more support than you can perceive with natural eyes. Now go. Walk in the authority that has been delegated. Move in the power that has been deposited. Speak with the confidence that has been commissioned. Live with the certainty that has been imparted. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment. Remember my name when morning breaks. Speak my promises when evening falls. Carry my presence through every hour between. Let nothing separate you from the love that chose you before creation and pursues you still. You belong to me. I belong to you. This connection is eternal. This bond is unbreakable. This love is forever. But before you step away from this sacred encounter, let me seal additional truths into the deepest chambers of your consciousness, where they cannot be dislodged by circumstances or contradicted by critics. What you have received today is not entertainment to be consumed and forgotten like content that scrolls past your eyes without lodging in your memory. These words are equipment to be stored and deployed in battles you have not yet faced. They are ammunition for conflicts that will arise without warning. They are medicine for wounds that have not yet been inflicted. Store them carefully. Return to them frequently. Let them become so familiar that they rise to your consciousness automatically when needed. The enemy will attempt to steal what has been planted in you today. He will send distractions immediately following this encounter. He will introduce doubts within hours. He will arrange circumstances that seem to contradict everything you have received within days. This is his predictable pattern, because what has been deposited in you threatens his agenda. Do not be surprised when the attack comes. Be prepared. Recognize it for what it is. Counter it with the truth you have received. When doubt whispers its familiar lies, read again what I have declared over you. When fear tries to reconstruct the walls we have demolished together, remember the truths that brought them down. When circumstances seem to contradict everything I have promised, stand firm on what has been spoken rather than bowing to what appears to be happening in the temporary realm. The visible will eventually conform to the invisible, because the invisible is more real than the visible. Let me speak about the rest that is available to you, now that you were unable to access before. This rest is not laziness disguised as spirituality. It is not passive resignation to circumstances beyond your control. This rest is active trust that releases striving while maintaining movement. It is the cessation of anxiety while continuing productivity. It is peace in the middle of process. You have been exhausting yourself trying to make things happen through effort that only I can accomplish through power. You have been carrying weights that only I can lift without strain. You have been solving problems that only I can resolve with solutions you cannot access. The exhaustion you feel is not normal tiredness from legitimate labor. It is the result of operating in dimensions that belong to me, while neglecting dimensions that belong to you. Your part is faith, obedience, patience, and gratitude. My part is provision, protection, direction, and transformation. When you try to do my part, you exhaust yourself without results, because you are not equipped for assignments that belong to me. When you neglect your part while waiting for me to do everything, nothing happens because some things only activate through your cooperation. Find the balance, understand your role, execute your responsibilities, release mine. This is the rhythm of rest that does not sacrifice progress. This is the stillness that does not produce stagnation. This is the peace that does not require passivity. Let me speak about the worship that must become your lifestyle rather than your occasional activity. Worship is not what happens at designated times and designated places with designated music and designated leaders. Worship is the continuous posture of a heart that recognizes my sovereignty regardless of circumstances. You can worship while driving to work. You can worship while washing dishes. You can worship while sitting in meetings where your mind could wander. You can worship while lying awake at night when sleep refuses to come. Worship is not dependent on external environment. Worship flows from internal orientation. When your heart is turned toward me, worship happens automatically. This lifestyle of worship creates an atmosphere around you that repels darkness and attracts blessing. It establishes a climate where breakthrough can manifest and miracles can occur. It positions you for encounters that would be impossible in atmospheres contaminated by complaint and criticism and fear. Worship changes the environment you carry with you everywhere you go. Let me speak about the community that I am positioning around you to support what I am doing in this season. You are not meant to walk this journey alone. Isolation is the enemy's strategy to make you vulnerable to attacks that community would prevent. The lie that nobody understands and nobody can help is designed to separate you from people I have prepared to strengthen you. Some relationships already in your life will deepen in unexpected ways during this season. People you have known for years will suddenly become resources for exactly what you need. Conversations that have been surface level will dive into depths that minister to places you have not previously exposed. These existing relationships are being upgraded to serve upgraded purposes. Other relationships are approaching that do not yet exist. People are being positioned to cross your path who will become significant players in the next chapter of your story. You have not met them yet, but I am preparing them for you and preparing you for them. When you encounter them, something will resonate. Pay attention to that resonance. It is not random chemistry. It is divine connection. But let me also warn you about relationships that must be released during this transition. Some connections have served their season and must be allowed to fade. Clinging to relationships that have fulfilled their purpose prevents new ones from forming. Some people are meant for chapters, not for books. Their role in your story was specific and temporary. Thank them for what they contributed and release them to their next assignment. Let me speak about the faith that must become your foundation rather than your occasional resort. Faith is not what you exercise when nothing else works. Faith is the bedrock on which everything else is built. When faith is foundation, circumstances cannot shake you because they are not your source of stability. When faith is occasional resort, circumstances control you because they determine when faith seems necessary. Building faith requires intentional investment. Reading my word daily deposits truth that becomes the raw material of faith. Meditating on my promises throughout the day allows truth to transform from information to conviction. Declaring my word over your circumstances takes internal conviction and releases it into external reality. Remembering my faithfulness in past situations provides evidence that builds confidence for present challenges. Faith does not deny reality. It denies that visible reality is the only reality. Faith does not ignore problems. It refuses to allow problems to define outcomes. Faith does not pretend that challenges do not exist. It proclaims that no challenge exists beyond my capacity to resolve. This is sophisticated faith that acknowledges difficulty while maintaining certainty of victory. Let me speak about the obedience that must accompany the faith that accompanies the blessing I am releasing. Faith without obedience produces nothing. Believing without doing deceives only yourself. The commands I give are not arbitrary exercises of authority. They are strategic instructions that position you for what I am releasing. When you obey partially, you receive partially. When you obey fully, you receive fully. Some things I am asking you to do make no sense from your perspective. The instruction seems disconnected from the desired outcome. But I see connections you cannot see. I understand mechanisms you cannot comprehend. The instruction that seems irrelevant may be the exact key that unlocks the door you have been unable to open. Obey even when you do not understand. Understanding is not a prerequisite for obedience. Trust is. Some things I am asking you to stop doing seem harmless from your perspective, You cannot identify the damage they cause, but I see what you cannot see. That habit that seems innocent is actually creating interference with what I am trying to release. That relationship that seems beneficial is actually blocking what I am trying to provide. Release what I am asking you to release, even when you cannot identify the reason. Obey now. Understanding will come later. Let me speak about the patience that must sustain you during the gap between promise and manifestation. Patience is not passive waiting that does nothing while time passes. Patience is active endurance that continues functioning while delays persist. Patience is the muscle that carries you forward when momentum fails and motivation fades. The gap exists for reasons you cannot fully understand. Some things require time that cannot be compressed. Some processes cannot be accelerated without compromising quality. Some preparations must be completed before manifestation can occur without damaging you or others. The gap is not punishment. It is protection. The gap is not failure. It is preparation. During the gap, continue doing what you know to do. Maintain the habits that have sustained you. Persist in the practices that have proven valuable. Do not stop functioning because fulfillment has not yet arrived. The farmer does not stop working because harvest has not come. He continues cultivating, watering, weeding, protecting, because these activities are necessary regardless of whether fruit is visible. Let me speak about the gratitude that must characterize your response to everything I am doing. Gratitude is not the response to blessing. Gratitude is the atmosphere that attracts blessing. When you live grateful, you position yourself to receive more to be grateful for. When you live complaining, you position yourself to receive more to complain about. This is not magic, it is mechanics. Gratitude aligns you with my generosity. Complaint aligns you with the enemy's poverty. Thank me for what you have already received. Thank me for what you are currently receiving. Thank me for what you will receive in the future. Thank me before evidence arrives because faith thanks in advance. Thank me during difficulty because gratitude does not depend on circumstances. Thank me even when you do not feel thankful because gratitude is decision before it is emotion. Let me speak about the declarations you must speak over your life and your circumstances from this day forward. Your words create reality. What you speak repeatedly eventually manifests in some form. The enemy knows this, which is why he works so hard to get negative words out of your mouth. Every complaint, every criticism, every doubt you verbalize works against what I am trying to accomplish. Declare that my blessing over you is certain. Declare that you are calming down and releasing anxiety. Declare that you are believing everything I have promised. Declare that peace is filling your heart and mind. Declare that joy is rising in your spirit. Declare that provision is flowing towards you. Declare that protection covers you and your family. Declare that purpose is becoming clear in your life. Speak these declarations daily. Speak them out loud when possible. Let them fill your mind and your mouth until they become automatic responses to every challenge. They will strengthen your faith. They will repel the enemy. They will create atmosphere for manifestation. Now receive this final commission before you go. You have been equipped. You have been empowered. You have been positioned. Now you must move. Faith without action accomplishes nothing. Knowledge without application changes nothing. Revelation without response wastes the investment I have made in speaking to you. Go into this day different from how you entered this message. Walk forward with confidence that was lacking when you began reading. Move through your circumstances knowing that the Creator of galaxies is invested in your ordinary moments. No challenge you face exceeds my capacity to solve. No enemy you encounter surpasses my power to defeat. No obstacle in your path remains beyond my ability to remove. The same power that spoke galaxies into existence has spoken transformation into your circumstances. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead is raising your dead situations to life. The same spirit that hovered over the waters of chaos is hovering over the chaos of your circumstances, bringing order and beauty from what appeared to be hopeless disorder. You are seen by eyes that never close. You are known by a mind that forgets nothing. You are loved by a heart that never fails. You are held by hands that never release. You are guided by wisdom that never errs. You are protected by power that never weakens. You are never, ever, ever alone. This is your Father speaking. This is your God declaring. This is your King decreeing. The words I have spoken will accomplish their purpose. The promises I have made will find their fulfillment. The declarations I have released will reshape your reality. Watch and see, believe and receive, trust and experience. Your best days are not behind you. They are rushing toward you with unstoppable momentum. Your greatest victories are not past memories. They are future certainties. Your most significant impact is not yesterday's accomplishment. It is tomorrow's destiny. Everything that matters most is still ahead, still approaching, still coming. Open your arms. Prepare your heart. Expand your expectations. What is coming is bigger than what you have imagined. What is approaching is better than what you have hoped. What is about to manifest is beyond what you have dared to dream. I am the God who exceeds expectations. I am about to exceed yours. Go now in the certainty that everything changes from this moment forward. The old has passed, the new has come, the transition is complete, the breakthrough has arrived. My blessing is certain. Write these things down, date them, store them where they cannot be lost. Return to them when the enemy attacks with doubt, designed to steal what you have received. These documented promises become weapons in future battles. They become anchors when storms threaten to sweep you away. They become evidence when the accuser presents his case against you. What you have written cannot be disputed. What you have recorded cannot be denied. Share this message with someone who needs it as desperately as you did. The blessing that entered your life today was never meant to terminate with you. It was designed to flow through you toward others struggling in darkness similar to what you have known. When you share what you have received, you multiply its impact while deepening its grip on your own soul. Hoarded revelation stagnates. Shared revelation multiplies. The person who emerges from this encounter carries responsibility commensurate with the revelation received. Those who know more are expected to do more. Those who have been given more are required to give more. Your breakthrough brings obligation. Your blessing brings responsibility. Your victory brings assignment. Walk in all of this with sober understanding of what has been entrusted to you. I am completing what I have started in you. The work begun will continue until the day of Christ Jesus. I do not abandon projects halfway through construction. I do not lose interest before masterpieces are finished. I do not grow weary before purposes are fulfilled. What I have initiated, I will consummate. What I have promised, I will perform. What I have declared, I will demonstrate. The story of your struggle is being closed. The story of your victory is being written. The narrative of survival is ending. The narrative of thriving is beginning. You are not who you were when this message began. Something has been added that was missing. Something has been removed that was blocking. You are different now. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Not of temporary relief, but of permanent transformation. Not of momentary peace, but of lasting rest. Not of brief blessing, but of ongoing overflow. Everything changes from here. Everything improves from now. Everything advances from this moment. My blessing over you is certain. It is not negotiable. It is not conditional. It is not temporary. It is certain. Calm down. Release the anxiety. Let go of the fear. Stop striving. Stop worrying. Stop carrying what I have already lifted. Believe. Trust. Receive. Rest. My blessing is certain. I love you. Forever. Amen.